lovely there. It's great to be back in Cork. How are you? Good, thank you very much. Of course, yeah, living in England. I'm back now. It's always good to come back. I moved over to England, of course, to continue pursuing my dream, you know, as a stand-up comedian. And my wife moved with me, and she doesn't even have a dream. She really, you know, that's an awful lot of pressure on my dream, really. Moving her to a country with a language barrier. We moved over. I had to, like, the first thing I did when I moved to England is I tried to order breakfast, right? Can I get bacon and eggs, right? Can you make the bacon crispy? 20 minutes later, the waiter returns anyway. Put down the bacon and the eggs, and then he said to me, "Your crispy potatoes are on the way." Sir. Said I didn't order any potatoes. I don't even see potatoes on the menu. I do apologise, sir, I'm not quite sure what happened. I said, I think I have a fair idea. I'm nearly sure you heard my accent 20 minutes ago, and you haven't been able to get to our potatoes either. Can I pay you with a pot of gold, can I? I think there's a rainbow due here next week. If you don't mind hanging on for it. I was very offended, genuinely. First time as an Irishman being stereotyped like that. But he was lovely. The waiter was like, "I do apologise, sir. Would you like me to cancel the potatoes?" And I said, "No. Bring them over. But I'm not fucking paying for them, okay?" That's how we get them back, lads. 2 or 3 potatoes at a time. What family? Chris got them all back. That is lovely to be here, though. I don't know if you're laughing at the famine or the joke. But I say, Landon in a new, he's still going. I think he's broken. Landed in a new country, I'd say. Might have to edit this bit out. Is it to get the English back? If we all did it, actually, if we all just order potatoes and then pretend we never ordered it. Eventually. Not long after landing, actually, in England, a gypsy approached my wife, you know. My wife got a job as a teacher, and a gypsy approached her, and she says to my wife, 2 things. She said, "You're pregnant, and you're missing somebody at the moment. By the way, you're having a baby girl." Now, my wife was pregnant at the time. That's not how we found out, by the way. This gypsy isn't fucking wrecking heck outside boots, you know. That's how we found out, but we hadn't told anybody. And she was missing somebody at the time because she just lost her mother, okay? So a very freaky, fucking confident gypsy there, like, seriously though, that's confidence there, like, to walk up to anyone and go, "You're pregnant," as an opener, right? If I had that gypsy's confidence, we would be doing this gig in the Opera House now. I wouldn't be here. I do this for a living. I do this for a living, and I couldn't go near that. Like, I'll give you an idea of my confidence off stage, right? There's a fella I know there for nearly 5 years, and I'm fairly sure his name is Paul, right? But I just can't take the chance, you know? I'd be like, call him fella, boy, buddy. Sometimes just making a noise. I've even heard other people call him Paul, but I'm like, nah, I'm not taking a chance. And on the opposite side then, when I worked on building sites, I let another man call me Steve for about 3 years, right? Just called me Steve. He even started calling me Steve, alright? I had a nickname for a name that isn't mine. And I was like, I never corrected him. I got invited to his party and I was confused about what to write on a card. If I write my own name, he's going to think I'm a prick, like, you know? I think I didn't give him anything. So that's it, like, you find out and it's a big call to make, first time, getting a phone call to say you're going to become a dad for the very first time, especially because we just moved to England, and after starting again with this shit, like, you're new over there, like, you know? To give you an example, put things into perspective, I got a phone call, and my wife said, "We're going to have a baby," and I was fucking delighted, right? I was terrified as well. A week before that, I went to do a shop. I was buying a yacht, like, you know. As you do, yeah. I was buying a yacht and my card got declined, right? Insufficient funds there for a fucking yacht. I'm about to become a dad. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't have enough money for a yacht, a small yacht. I had to carry. Have you ever had to carry a yacht back to the fridge? Fucking long old walk. I'm after trying all the cards. People judging me here. I can't even afford a yacht. So I'm going to become a dad, right? So what I started doing, right, was I started watching because I was going to give up. I was going to give it up. I was going to give up comedy because I was like, it's too fucking hard. Like, you know. I started watching motivational videos on YouTube. Have you ever watched them? No? Doesn't sound like you have, no? The motivation videos on YouTube, I'll be honest with you, they're too good, the motivation videos on YouTube. Because you can't stop watching them, right? Then you have no time to do anything. Even more plans than you had in the first place. I was watching the motivational videos the whole time. No, they're all like, you know, all on YouTube. I think you're lying. I think some of you have definitely watched them. Will Smith, he's a big. Oh yeah, no, you know. Do you watch it? That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to ruin it for you. Will Smith. Will Smith's words of wisdom. Will Smith's powerful, motivating talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like them? I think he's a prick, honestly. I don't care if he's here tonight. I'm willing to take it. I don't like the man at all, right? Let me explain it to you, right? He talks about how hard he works. That's his main thing. He's powerful. He's like, I got. You couldn't. Yeah. What's going on here? What are you telling her?
About the video.
You're telling her about the video?
I think he wants to tell me.
Yeah, I think she wants to. Yeah. I was about to do that anyway. I'm sticking on all together. I can tell you for a start, the confidence videos are working for you anyway. I'm very fucking confident. I'll tell you about them, right? Will Smith, right? He's a prick, right? So he talks about how hard he works. That's his main angle, right? He's like, I got sickening work ethic, right? I got sickening work ethic. He's like, when the other guy is eating, I'm working. When the other guy is sleeping, I'm working. Doesn't mention what he's doing when the other guy's working, alright? Straight away I have a problem with that. What are you doing for those other 12 hours of the day, Will? Some poor fuckers on minimum wage, right? You see, Will Smith's words of wisdom. He's doing an interview with a man, millions and millions of views. He's telling a man about all the wisdom, you know. And he's telling the man a story, right? He's telling the man a story about how when they were children, their dad knocked down the wall in front of the business, and he made him and his little brother build it up again. They were only kids; they didn't know how to build or anything like that. But their dad did it. He said, "Look, build the wall." He made them build it. They finished it. Then Will Smith goes on to explain to the guy like how you build a wall, you know, because they finished the wall and their dad said, "There you go now. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something." And Will Smith goes on, you know, "You don't set out to get a wall. You just get one brick and you place that brick as perfectly as a brick can be placed. And then you get another brick." And it goes on like that for a while, actually. And then he's like, "Soon you have a wall." And then the interviewer's crying, you know, because he's so inspired. I'm fucking raging, honestly. Mainly because that's not how you build a wall at all. That's Lego. He's talking about Lego. And then they showed a picture of a real wall. And if I was that interviewer, I'd have stopped them there, like, and I'd have been, hold on there, look, this is supposed to be inspirational, motivational talking here, Will. And all I'm hearing here, Will, if I'm being honest, from the story, is there's a very dangerous wall somewhere. It's a very dangerous wall. And I'm also picking up the vibe that your dad's a maniac. He knocked down a perfectly good ball. Nothing wrong with it. You want another child, that's highly illegal. And to me this much, Will, because if it's not in your wisdom now, I doubt that you knew it as a child. What is the sand to cement race? Do you think he knows sand to cement race? He's building fucking walls and telling other people how to build walls and... I'm sure you know it all anyway. He then talks about, he goes, oh, I'm willing to die on a treadmill. That's his name. I love the way you're nodding along with everything he says as well. It's brilliant. You're aware of the videos, aren't you? Yeah. So that's his next thing. I'm willing to die on a treadmill. And now even the interviewer is kind of going, oh, what's he on about? And I'm willing to die on a treadmill. He said, if we get on a treadmill together, and straight away, alright, that's not how treadmills work. He is a fucking idiot, like, you know. Has anyone ever tried to jump on behind you at the gym? Right? Oh, there's a bit of space on the back of that one. You know, he's still a fan of his. Do you know if someone jumped on behind me, like, I'd be like, are you fucking sure? What are you doing there? Hello, this isn't the airport at all. Like. But that's his mantra, anyway. That's his mantra. I'm willing to die on a treadmill. Either you're getting off first, or I'm going to die. No, I figured that out as well. There's one very good reason he's willing to die on a treadmill, and it's because a treadmill is the hardest thing in the world to die upon. If you have a heart attack on a treadmill, do you think you die on a treadmill? I'd take a guess now. I'd say you've been thrown off a treadmill. And you died somewhere near a treadmill. Unless like you fall onto another treadmill. That has to be switched off as well. You'd be like, who designed this gym? Like, why are all the fucking treadmills up to one side of it? I gave him the benefit of the doubt, so I really did. I genuinely gave him the benefit of the doubt. I thought, maybe you can die on a treadmill, maybe. It's unlikely. Like if you had a heart attack and just somehow you died, your legs kept going, and even then, like the gym staff would have to kind of ignore all common sense, call the ambulance, leave you, run away. They're get a PB they can throw on the headstone, like. I saw two ways how it might happen, right? And this is fairly far-fetched now, but go with me, right? For the sake of Will Smith. If you were in like a skydiving accident, right? Your parachute doesn't open. Terrifying. You're heading for a leisure centre. You go straight through the roof, right? Guess where you land?
On a treadmill?
Yeah, on a treadmill. So I know you're dead on a treadmill. It can happen. But did he die on the treadmill? See what I mean? Also, like if my parachute didn't open, I would have had a heart attack. Failing that, I'd punch myself to death, like before I hit anything. So even then, like that's a bit. So there's one more guaranteed way to die on a treadmill. The only guaranteed way to die on a treadmill is if you get shot, right? Like, now even then, like the worst hitman in the world, he'd pick a better moment, I'd say. You know? I don't know if I was trying to get someone and I said, if you came up to me and that was your plan, right? Come here, I'm going to get him when he's on the treadmill. Can I just run? Can I hang on there? You're going to get him when you're picking the only 20 minutes of the day, right? Just surrounded by mirrors. You're picking the only 20 minutes of the day where you can see the back of his own head. Sneak up on him in the brightest building in town. And he's all warmed up, ready to run away. And you have to sign into the gym and everything. They know you. Not only will they know you, they'll know your next of kin and everything. You know how fucking hard it is to get into a gym. But I listened to all of it. I shouldn't be making fun of you. I listened to all of the videos and I believed them for a very long time before I realised they're shite. Like, you know. Because I listened to them all. And it was because I was going to become a dad. I was like listening to Will Smith and I was like, geez, I need a break in comedy. I didn't. I just needed to just keep doing what I was doing, right? So I was like, what would Will Smith do? First of all, I started dressing a bit different, right? I know. And like I got a pair of lovely shoes, right? I stopped wearing runners and trainers or whatever you call them, and I started wearing shoes. Nothing happened, actually. I was going, fucking hell. What else did I try and do? I became a vegan for a couple of hours. It didn't work either. I also tried to be cool. There's a lot of cool comedians on the telly in the UK, right? If you see them, they all hold the microphone incorrectly, right? So that's how they hold the microphone, because they think it looks cool. So I started doing that, like walking around, and people were just like, "What's wrong with your hand?" Sorry, I'm trying to be cool. Like, it's the only thing I achieved. Honest to God, no, right? I actually just. I hated stand-up for the first time ever because I was taking it too seriously. But I was taking it so seriously that I didn't even know I was taking it seriously. It was making me I was going, what the fuck am I playing at, right? Thank God I got a sign. I was sitting on a toilet after a show one night, right? And that's like, just laughing at me sitting on a toilet. No, sitting on a toilet after a show, and I hadn't been enjoying comedy for ages, right? I put my hand into the dispenser, there's no toilet paper there, and the kind of mood now, I'm like, oh, what? So why would there be toilet paper there for you? Like, what would make you think it'd be there for you? Like, I don't know, I know who the guy, Neil Kubel was, he has all the toilet paper he could have ever wished for. So I put my hand into my pocket for a piece of paper. I think I might have a napkin there for my coffee, you know. I didn't have a napkin, right? I found a piece of paper. I found a piece of paper with my set list on it. Do you know what like a set list is? That would be a list of all my jokes and my material that I was doing in the comedy club, right? And that's a decision the universe felt I needed to make. Right? One of the lowest points of my life. Come here, do you want to wipe your arse with all your jokes? Or would you rather go back to your friends smelling of shit? What do you think? Isn't that a weird thing to get inspiration from? I was inspired by it. I thought, oh my God, Christopher, you're taking comedy way too seriously. I genuinely, I went, fuck you have to do this now. I did it, I didn't expect to enjoy it, and I loved it, I genuinely loved it. I was like, you know, it was the most liberating thing I've ever done in my life. I was wiping my arse and I was like, fuck Will Smith, I didn't care who it was. It didn't make any sense. I was like, fuck vegans as well. I got powerful, I genuinely felt, this is it, like, I am getting back to comedy now for the only reason I got into comedy in the first place was just to make people laugh, and it was the most powerful thing I've ever done in my life. I wiped my arse, I stood up proud. I turned around to flush the toilet. I'd say there must have been about 72 rolls of toilet. Fucking Will Smith size wall of toilet. And I'm still glad I done it. Right, yeah. Paper cut, that's what you said, isn't it? No, it's alright actually, yeah. No, and I had no need to worry, I was getting myself into knots because my wife has a real job. So we were fine. All along we were fine. Like, she has a real job, she's a teacher, and what I used to do is I used to get up in the mornings with her as well and pretend, you know. I used to just pretend I was going to work as well, just to make her feel better about getting up early. I have a big whiteboard where I write all my jokes and stuff, and she never really believed me, because I'd get up with her, like, and I'd be like, oh, fucking hell, here we go again, like, work. She just knows, like, that I'm going straight back to bed, and she knows she knows we're getting through the cornflakes far too quickly here, like. There's a man in this house having breakfast twice a day for the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm getting up in it, and it doesn't matter now, because I do have a whiteboard, that is true. I had it in my kitchen, and I write all ideas for jokes or stories or something that happened. And it's actually good, even when I work though, because she's a teacher, she corrects all the grammar on it, right? So she comes in and corrects the grammar, and even if there's a bit of wordplay, she'll rearrange it back into a perfect sentence. And I'd be like, what was the fucking joke anyway? I can't even remember what the original joke was now, like, you know? So when I found out I was going to be a dad though, I said I'd do something different, right? So I wrote, as a surprise, to-do list before baby arrives. And I just wrote a couple of things on it. I said, get fit, get healthy, similar, but I'm trying to get a bit of a list going. Like, you know, drink less alcohol, And the last one then was work harder than ever. Kiss, kiss, kiss. And I went off out and I did a gig. And my wife came in and I was like, that'll be lovely, when she gets home to see that, like. And, it'd be nice, inspired someone after all that. And I got a phone call and my wife was like, you're not funny. And I was like, it's not what I needed to hear. I didn't need to hear that at all on the way to a gig, like. She knows my confidence is fragile enough, like, You're not funny. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, the to-do list in the fucking kitchen. I'm like, I'm serious. I'm very serious about that. Are you serious about it, are you? Wank harder than ever? That's what you're on a to-do list in our kitchen? No. Hang on a minute, no. I'm on a train defending myself here. Like, no. I don't intend on wanking harder than ever. No. That says work harder than ever. That says work harder than ever. She sent me a picture of it. And you couldn't argue, no. 100%. It looked like I wrote wank harder than ever. Fucking to-do list in the kitchen. Kiss, kiss, kiss after. I tell you now. So I did it. But I tried it. It's stupid anyway. If you're ever, I'd give you some advice, right? I try to be healthy when my wife is pregnant, and that's a stupid idea. Do whatever they want to do, right? Because my wife is, for an example, like we went and we stayed in a bed and breakfast. Get up the next morning, everyone's getting a full English, right? And of course you are, right? Full English. This was in England, or you have to. You're shaking your head like it's like you're two different breakfasts as well, like, the exact same. So you're very patriotic on that. You're full Irish, and that's it. Okay, for the bit though that I'm about to do, that I've done hundreds of times. Full English normally works better. I think we might have a job at a bit of editing, lads. Honest to God, I tried to be healthy when my wife's, and it's stupid, right? Because the next morning everyone is getting a full English, because they're English and an English bed and breakfast, and that's what they do. Be a bit weird if they're like, no, they're full of Irish. What are you talking about? I'm talking about offend a woman in Coke. So it was a full English, like, we're all getting a full English anyway. The whole lot of them are getting a full English, right? There's a woman going around with a pad and she's like, full English. And then it gets to me, and here's where I fucked up. What is it now? I'm guessing it's to do with the English again. You're grand. Oh, God, that's brilliant. You always like that? I'll get there in the end, you might want to tell your baby. Be a bit late. You can't stop that. It shouldn't be a problem really at a comedy gig like that. I'm gonna just fucking start that story again. I'm trying to be healthy. Honest to God, everyone's getting a full English, right? That's it, that's what they get there. Full English. And then it gets to me, right? And I said to the woman, I said, can I have a bowl of porridge? Yeah, much the reaction my wife gave me. She was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then I said it out loud, that was the problem. I said, I'm being healthy for the baby. And my wife was like, right. So then she took my wife's order. My wife said, can I have a full English? And I'll have his full English as well, alright? So, bowl of porridge, right? Honest to God, I don't think I've ever regretted anything in my life. One spoon is all it took me. One spoon of porridge is all it took me to resent my unborn child. I know, it's a strong emotion. But I genuinely felt that, like, I put one spoon of porridge into my mouth and I thought, fucking hell, do I even want to be a dad? Like, Because it was so bland, I couldn't taste the thing, right? I put a spoon of porridge in my mouth, I couldn't taste anything. I had to look around, I had to find a mirror to look at, I had to make sure I was after putting food into my mouth, right? Like, oh, there's a load of porridge in there, alright? I can't taste the fucking thing, all I can smell is sausages, right? And then, on top of that, right, I can't taste the thing, right, honest to God, and my wife was looking at me and she's like, he's after having one spoon of porridge and he's going to give up already, right? I said, fuck it, I can't do that, I can't do that. So what I did, right, I spotted a jar of jam on the table, out of the corner of my eye. I said, alright. Actually, it was initially thrown, right, because it's so long since I've seen a jam jar used for its purpose. Just a whole jam. Can you believe that? I was like, why isn't there a hipster drinking lemonade? Why isn't that around a fucking light bulb in a cafe? Like, because there was a fella in Dublin one night, he had a jam jar wallet. I wouldn't even make it up. A grown man had his money inside a jam jar. I couldn't even, I was like, come here, are you fucking serious or what? Like, you know, it's better for the environment. I'm like, your money's all sticky and nobody likes you. It's like, after I got over the fact that there was always jam in the jam jar initially, I said, I get a bit of jam now, I'll put it into my porridge, right? So I took off the lid anyway. I said, what I'll do now is I'll just drizzle a little bit of jam across the top of my porridge because the spoon has already been in my mouth as people at the table, right? So, but what actually ended up happening there now, right? Basically, right, like the entire contents of the jam jar, maintaining its shape of a jar of jam. I never felt fair like it. I have an empty jar, my heart is flying. All I can do is pray that no one sees it happening, you know. It never happened so slow and so quickly, but except upon impact with the porridge, the jam made a big fart noise. Everybody looks over like the Irishman did a fart. Oh no, I didn't do a fart. But they can all see it. A fucking full jar of jam. Sinking in half a bowl of porridge there, right? I just said, all you can do now is pretend you love jam. That's all you can do. I didn't even put the fucking jar down, like. I kept onto the jar. I started tapping the end of the jar. I started looking around, shaking the jar, looking around. I committed to it, like. I even stood up. I looked over to another table. I said, excuse me. Any more jam on the another bit of jam there, you know. I fucking ate the whole lot, like, the whole lot. I was trying to be healthy as well, that was the worst part. I was gagging, I was like, my wife was mortified. She has 2 fucking breakfasts in front of her. She's like pretending not even to know me, like, you know. I'm like, she's like, get another bowl of porridge at least and fucking eat it out of it. Get another bowl of porridge, you'd love that, wouldn't you? You can call me Goldilocks then for the rest of my life. I'll follow you upstairs. I'm going to eat the whole lot. I did, I ate the whole lot. Big jar of jam. What is it? What's going on?
I said why did you stay in the B&B in the first place? At least in the hotel you could disown it.
Oh right, yeah. Because by your logic, I wouldn't have a fucking show, you know. That'd be it. By your logic, I'd come out and go, do you know what? Everything went grand. Thanks for coming. I was overreacting. I do prefer being made fun of. I was overreacting anyway because that was early days. Like we hadn't even got the scan yet or anything, you know. And I was like, I'll be healthy for the baby, and just because I wrote the fucking to-do list, I'll be healthy for the baby. It's stupid. And the scan as well, by the way, that's something else. Has anyone? Do you remember do you go to the scan, lads? Yeah. It's supposed to be magical. I find you have to be very good at lying, like, you know. You're like, there's only so many times I can ask you, can you see it? There's a foot, and I'm like, huh? I'm not telling you there. Oh yeah, I see the feet. Yeah. I see the feet. Yeah. Unbelievable. In the UK as well, they charge you now for a fucking for the scan. They charge you money for the picture. Like when you're leaving, like you know, like you're getting off a fucking roller coaster. I was blown away by it, like. I went out to this woman with a hat and a load of babies and a fucking load of... I was like, are you fucking... Yeah, 3 for $5 or a frame of a bit of candy floss there. And I had to get a load of them because I had to give one to my mum and give one to everyone. And I rang my mum then and told her the news because you get the scan, safe enough, call them, give them the news. I told my mum, I said, Mum, you're going to be a grandmother, and she was fucking delighted, she was. And I told her about the Gypsy as well, you know, and then she was actually offended for a second. She was like, can't believe she knew before me. And I was like, no, the Gypsy, man, the Gypsy's a freaky, no, but it reminded her of a story of her own, right? Because my mother said to me years and years ago, a similar situation, a Gypsy came up to her and she knew way too much stuff. She just started telling her stuff. She's like, you have 2 sons, your husband. She told her stuff about relatives that had just passed. She told them about loads of stuff. And she said, one of your sons is destined for the stage and will have his name in the lights. Now this is like fucking 20 years ago. And I was there to my mum going, are you fucking serious? And my mum was like, yeah, as soon as she said that I knew she was full of shit. Getting burned by my mother, like, you know. But it turned out the Gypsy was in my house and my mum, she was looking at all the pictures and telling my mum that she had 2 sons, like, you know. Pictures of the 2 of us everywhere. Yeah. Nah. It did freak me out a small bit, I'm not gonna lie. How the fuck did I know that shit? You know, it's a bit fucking, it's a bit random. And I think my mum and dad are brilliant grandparents, right? I think as well, grandparents get a bit of a hard time, sometimes from their fucking kids. Do you know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, you're the, huh? Yeah, I don't. And it is true. It is true. Grandparents, they have an awful lot of love that I don't remember them having in the first place. But I think that's a good thing. I think that's a brilliant thing. What if they didn't find it in the first place, alright? Imagine it though. But I see my friends of mine have complained about it. Friends of mine have been like, oh, you're taking them to the park. I don't remember you taking me to the park at all. And you're like, that's because you're a prick probably. Like, you know? They're giving out about the love for your own child here. I'd never do that to my mum and dad. I wouldn't fucking, in a million years. I hope they love their grandkids more than they loved any of us, and it doesn't bother me in the slightest. Because I wasn't fucking easy, like, I want to be honest, right? Like, do you know that game you play, right? You knock at someone's door, you run away, you look at them answering from the distance. You go, that was class, look, she was very frustrated. I don't know, do they still play it? It's run away knock, isn't it? Is there anyone from outside Cork that has another name for it?
Southsiders.
Southsiders? Is that the name of it? What do the Southsiders call it?
What do you call it? Runaway knock.
Oh, gee.
It's runaway knock everywhere. Yeah. Weirdly enough, people outside Cork think it's weird, mainly because it's fucking doesn't make any sense really. It's called runaway knock. It's backwards for a start, like, you know. Like, did you knock? No, I ran away. It's a brilliant game though. I don't know, do kids play it today, do you think? I don't need to play it anymore. I'd say maybe they FaceTime me a wall or something. Wasting all their data. The point I'm trying to make is I used to play that on my own house. On my mum and dad's house. I would play that on their house. And I didn't even leave the house to do it. I did it within the house. From my bedroom, right, I'd throw a ball of twine out the window. And in through the porch and onto the knocker. Something you should know now, right? My mother, I never wanted for anything. My mother worked all her life and put me and my brother ahead of anybody, and I'm knocking at her front door from my bedroom in between games of FIFA just for my own entertainment. All she's trying to do is have a cup of tea, and I'm like, I hear her out to the door, like, you know. 5 times I got that woman to answer the door. 5 times I got that woman to answer the door. To nobody. And honest to God, now, if I'm being honest, it was funnier every time. It just keeps getting better, right? And eventually she stopped anyway, she stopped answering. So, but my mum told me never to give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. So I kept on knocking anyway, right? Knocking. And eventually my mum shouted up the stairs, Christopher! I think there's somebody at the door there for you. So then I had to answer the door to myself. I can't just say, no, there isn't. I just want to give the game away, right? So I went down, I answered the door, and just to fuck with her head, like I started a conversation. I answered the door and I said, how's it going? And my mother shouted out from the kitchen, who is it? I said, it's Sean. And she said, go on out with him. And I did. I run away and knocked myself out of my own house. It gets even better, right? I couldn't get back in about an hour later. It was raining, I was knocking on the door. I was like, I know, she's in the kitchen, like, she's fucking ignoring me now anyway. Shouting in the letterbox and everything, Mum, it's me, I'm at the door. I just went back to my own place anyway in the end, to be honest. Why can't I? There's a man in the story all the time. Yeah, but I have to put up with too, like grandparents, like it's different, it's a different age completely. Grandparents go, they think, you know, with babies, you can go, oh, we're having a baby, oh, you can't do that, no, you can't do that, you can't do that. That's fucked up, like, even the stuff I was doing, like, we did hypno-parenting, have you ever heard of that? Hypno-parenting, right? It's an antenatal class, they practice hypnosis and meditation, and it's all like, you know, like one time I got hypnotized in Santa Panza, but it was a little bit different than that. So I was a bit skeptical as well. I turned up to a hypno-parenting class, and it was me and my wife, and there was 3 other couples there. Then there's a woman on her own, and I was like, that's actually lousy, like. And he was like, she's giving the class, and I was like, all right. So the whole purpose is, right, you do it every week for a couple of weeks, and it is actually, I was a bit freaked out in the beginning. So the first thing she gets you to do, right, she gets you to sit down, everyone sit down, she gets everybody to close their eyes, and I just want you all now, she said, I want you to practice breathing, right? I was practicing the breathe now. I couldn't, my mind wandered to how much she charged for everyone. I've been breathing for 30 odd years now, like, I don't think I've needed any practice at any point, right? But I was skeptical, but then I went, fuck it, look, I'll just go with it, see what happens, and then we did a bit of a meditation. Now, I'd never done meditation before, and I didn't think it would work on me, but she was brilliant, right? She's a qualified midwife, and she's qualified in hypnobirthing, so she got us all close our eyes again, and she counts from 5 down to 1, and she's got a lovely soothing voice. Said, what I want you all to do now is I need you all to go to a nice relaxing place. And the way she's like, deeper and deeper, 5, 4, and I fucking went there. It was beautiful. She said, spend about a minute or 2 there, and when you're ready, come back to the room, right? And I was just blown away. I was so relaxed on it. Next thing I woke up, everyone was still in the relaxing place, so, you know, all of a sudden then I felt very giddy. I'd be very tempted to scream shark at the top of my voice. I know these fuckers are on the beach as well, like, you know. I'd love it if I got the courage to scream shark there. The only thing that stopped me, I was looking around the class, and there was one of the lads anyway, one of the husbands, right? Eyes closed, right? Now he's meant to be in a relaxing place, right? This is the fucking carry on, right? I was looking at the midwife, she could barely keep a straight face. I was like, where the fuck is he gone? Like, you know? Everyone comes back to the room, and she does make her way around the room. She's like, okay guys, how did you get on? It was very good, it was actually brilliant. Everyone felt really relaxed. Couple number 1, where are you? On a fucking beach as well, right? We're on a beach, could you believe that? Couple number 2, beach as well. I was fucking beach, we're on a beach and all. I was right. Gets to couple number 3, right? Mr. fucking eyebrows. Can't wait to find out where this fucker was anyway. She says it to many of them. He says beach, he's just looking at the ground when he says it. He's like, goes on a beach. Yeah, you're in a fucking brothel, I said. I actually seen him in there, I saw him in there. I was only asking for directions to the beach. Honest to God, alright? It was fucking brilliant. We got homework and everything. I didn't enjoy homework at all. I never enjoyed homework. But she gave us all this stuff to bring home with us. all this music and meditation, and we did it every day, and it's just supposed to calm you down, but you're freaking out having a baby, and it was all like little mantras. Me and my wife would do them every day, right? It was like, I am calm and relaxed. Again, you feel a bit silly doing it, but you just close your eyes, you keep doing it. I am calm and relaxed. I'm looking forward to the birth of my baby. I am looking forward to the birth of my baby. My cervix will open easily. It's kind of hard not to get on board with that one, right? But I gave it a week there, boy, and I was like, mine's going to fucking fly open anyway. It's actually a bit loose, and I hold off tonight, you know. Feel it there, boy, I'm doing too many. So that's what we had all over our house then as well. We were well into this shit, like we were like, there's a post-it on the mirror, calm and relax. Just remind yourself all the time. Open the fridge. My cervix will open easily. Post-its everywhere. I'm very happy. And something I was very skeptical about. I was the highlight of my week going to Hypno-parenting every week. It was fucking brilliant. I got to know all the parents, and you get chatting stories in as well. There was one pair, they're the same as us, first baby. Do you know what you're having? No, we don't. It's a surprise. Great, very good. Couple number 2, they were having their second one. They had a boy, and they knew they were having a girl. And I was like, oh, that's fucking brilliant. That's fucking brilliant. Then they said to us, like, do you know what you're having? And Neve was like, well, a gypsy. I'm like, I wish you wouldn't fucking tell people that. Don't mind that fucking gypsy, right? So we don't know what we're having. We haven't the clue, alright? So the weeks go by in Hypno-parenting, and then it comes to an end. They send you on your way, like you go home then. But it's lovely because you get to know all these people, and for the last class they do a recap of everything. This is what's going to happen now, and let's talk about, and she gets to the part where if you go to term and the baby hasn't arrived, is there ways to naturally induce labour? She's you know, she's testing us, like, and the hands are shooting up straight away. They're like, curry, spicy curry. Now that kind of question, naturally inducing labour, you want to get in there early. Like, you know, you don't want to be left with you know what, like, you know. And another fella was like, a bumpy car ride, and she was like, actually, yeah, a bumpy car ride can do it. A long walk, very good. I'm writing them all down. Raspberry tea, oh, very good. And someone else said laughter, and I was like, oh. Yeah, laughter works. And then the whole class, of course, looks at me and Neve, and they're like, oh, no problems over here, so. And Chris the comedian, yeah, that's it, yeah. Like, you know, that's because that's what it's like being married to a comedian, you know. She wakes up every morning, I'm standing at the bottom of the bed. I'm like, hello. I said, I can't even afford a fucking yacht, man. This is like, do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, get me a microphone now and we're trying to fucking set everybody off. Like just before they induce you in the hospital, they bring a comedian and look, we'll try this first, alright? Jesus Christ, I'll take a drink of water there. So as well, we had to look for a new house as well. My God, all the meditation in the world, like the fucking estate agents, they're difficult to deal with. They're fucking difficult to deal with. Have you ever had to deal like with estate agents when you're expecting a baby, right? Because we needed a bigger house, right? Our lease was up. Ours are actually gone as well. Or someone agreed to take it. I've seen the estate agents work because I'm at home during the day. I see them come in, show my place to new people. I'm like, is this fella for fucking real? Estate agent comes into my kitchen, right? Showing a potential tenant for the house. This is the kitchen, and I'm like, right, yeah. Like there was any questions there, like, you know, there's a washing machine and a cooker in this room. And the tenant asked a very simple question. Sorry mate, is there a dishwasher? And the estate agent said, I don't know. But I can find out. I realise it's not right. He's standing in my kitchen, right? Doesn't know, and he says he can find out. Just to prove a point, I got up and I put a cup into the dishwasher. As I said, I can find out. I'll send a couple of emails. That's what he said, alright? Now I had to deal with them. Our property went. Someone took the property, right? and our lease was coming up, and I never experienced this in my life, but I was ringing up, right? I said, I'm just looking at your little 2-bed house there. They're like, right. I said, it's me and my wife, we're expecting our first baby. Oh, okay. Sorry, sir, I'm sorry to inform you, there's no kids at that property. There's no kids allowed in the property. I've never heard anything like that, like, to be honest. But then it just kept on fucking happening. Every property I rang up to, oh, sorry, there's no kids at the property, I'm getting a bit fucking stressed out here, like, we have to be out of our place, and there's no kids at any of these fucking properties. I'm getting a real feel now for what Mary and Joseph went through, you know? Like, what the fuck, I don't even have a donkey, like, I can't hear anything. So I'm ringing up this one fella, and the place is beautiful house, right? I'm like, sorry, I'm just ringing up about the property there. And he's like, yeah, and he's actually having a great time. He's like, oh, you're Irish. And I'm like, yeah, we're Irish. Are you both working? I was like, we're both working. 2 workers there going off out to work. Working all the time, bye. Do you smoke? I was like, we don't even vape, bye. And I'm getting on good, and I'm there to my wife going, we might have it, right? And he's like, so what do you do yourself? I was like, I'm a comedian. He's like, And he's like, what's your wife? I was like, hey, she's a school. Oh, what school is she working in? I was like, oh, she's working in that school there now, but she's on maternity leave now at the moment, like, cause we're just about to have the baby, like. Oh, sorry, I should have said earlier. There's no kids at this property. And I was like, for fuck's sake. And then there was a pause, right? And then he said to me, are you still interested? Still to this day, I don't know what he wanted me to do. Right? Like, I'm gonna put the phone down and go to Neve. Come here. You really want that baby? We give it away. It's ours, right? It's ours. That's what he said. The ensuite's to die for. So I said, no, thank you. We're okay. So I put it away, right? It was a couple of weeks of that, and then eventually I found a place. Thank God, found a place that was nowhere near I wanted it to be, and overpriced. But we got a place anyway, right? So then the due date arrives. And the due date, if you don't know, is actually the date that you definitely won't have a baby on. That's what they should tell you. So, you know that date there? You won't be having the baby then. Because I was convinced we'd be having a baby on the due date. I was like, here we go, fucking baby today, I'm after taking the night off and everything. No fucking baby, no baby at all. And I was a bit stressed out, like I was going, are you sure? I don't know. I thought we'd have a baby by now, so my wife was like, she's getting annoyed at me because I'm like, every time she fucking does anything, I'm grabbing the car keys. Something happening there or not? She's like, I don't feel a fucking thing, leave me alone, alright? I was a bit stressed out though because the due date, and 10 days later we had to move out of the apartment we're in. So I was like, will I put up the cot here? I'll put up the cot in the next place, and what if the baby comes and we're trying to fucking move down the road? And I'm like, 10 days go by, no sign of the baby, at all, right? And we've just been cleaning the place like maniacs, right? We've cleaned that apartment now with a thoroughness that would make you think we fucking were covering up a murder, right? We didn't murder anybody, we just wanted our deposit back. So the moving out day came. My wife is 10 days overdue, right? The moving out day came, and I'm like, everything is in the van, the place is fucking spotless, clean places I've never even seen before, right? Then a guy comes to do the checkout. I don't know if you've ever had to do a checkout on a new property. I did not expect it. Guy comes into the room, gets out a video camera, and I was like, I was just handing him the keys, like, there you go, like, put the deposit back in my. He's like, I'm here to do the checkout, and I'm like, okay, what are you talking about? He said, I have to make a little DVD of your apartment. See, I made the original DVD before you moved in, and then you can compare the 2 DVDs, so there's no confusion as to what was and what wasn't with the apartment. And I'm like shocked. I'm like, what? He's like, you got the DVD, the original one that I made. You got it with your lease there, you know. Did you watch it? I said, no, I'm sorry, I didn't actually. If I'd known it was there, like I had it on all the time. Like I know Netflix has its rough patches, but I've never in my life said to my wife, come here, do you want to stick on the DVD this place? Or do you just want to keep on watching the dishwasher go round and round? So I said, no, I'm sorry I didn't watch it, but I'm anxious trying to get out the fucking door, like, you know. So then he's like that, right? He's going around my apartment with the video, and he said, I will tell you one thing, right? if I come across anything, I'll let you know, and then you have the option to fix it, or it might come out of your deposit. I'm like, alright, here we go, alright. So he's going around. Now the first thing he does, he calls me into the bathroom. And he's like, right, see the tiles here? They're like these bumpy kind of ceramic tiles, right? He puts his fingernail in there, and there's a little bit of, he said, there's a bit of cleaning residue there. Cleaning residue. They might take something out of your deposit for that. You can scrub it off there now while I'm finishing off the DVD, you know? I'm like, fucking hell, so I gotta scrub it off. It took me 40 minutes to get the clean tiles. Cleaner, or whatever, uncleaner, I don't know what way I was around there. And I'm sweating, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous. And then I'm like, come here, is there anything else there? He goes, yeah, there is, yeah. There's a light bulb missing in your extractor fan. But if you leave it, it'll just come out of your deposit, it'll be fine. And I'm like, it'll come out of my deposit, alright, I know what will happen, I know how they get you. They get an electrician and 8 apprentices around to change that fucking light bulb, and then that's my deposit gone. So I took the light bulb, I ran out to the shop, I got another light bulb, I came back, I put it in, ping, we're through to the next round of this fucking game show, or this horrible game show where a man and his pregnant wife are trying to win back their own money. Me and my wife doesn't even have ever to sit down. I'm following that man around for nearly 3 hours, right? Clean stuff, putting the light bulbs in, and this nearly broke me. This genuinely nearly broke me, and I'm very proud that I actually held it together. I could see the baby shaking his head inside my wife. Taking the fucking piss here, like, you know. I said nothing in there, right? I said, come here, is there anything else? I'm really trying to hold it together. Is there anything else there, like, today about the apartment? He said, there's one more thing, mate. There's a little bit of washing powder residue in the drawer of your washing machine. Do you know how hard it is to hold it together there, like, you know? Do you know how to, I had to stop myself saying, oh, alright, oh fuck, that's awful, isn't it? Like, I mean, like, that's, where are the next tenants supposed to eat their Rice Krispies out of, like, you know? I mean, take the whole, lock me up, bring me to jail, but I went the opposite. I went, oh jeez, I'm mortified, I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. I don't even know how that happened, if I'm being honest. There must be some of my Irish friends coming over, fucking animals, putting a bit of washing powder in the washing machine. So I cleaned it, I took out the tray and I cleaned it, and I've never been so fucking angry. I put it in, we went down to the new house, then we get to the new house, it's fucking manky, no one's after cleaning anything, we can't work the heating, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. We stayed in the place, we didn't even unpack. The following day, I have to pick my mum and dad up from the airport. They're flying in. This is 11 days overdue. This is not the image we had in our heads. We thought they'd be flying in, there's a lovely baby here. There's not a lovely baby, there's 2 fucking babies crying, me and my wife, about the state of our fucking lives. But it's brilliant. They get there, they relieve a bit of tension, and they're my mum and dad get the helping hand. You know, in the house it's great to have them. They're moving in, they're trying to sort the heating out. They're packing stuff away. My dad's putting stuff in the fridge. He's like, what's a fucking cervix? And I'm like, oh god. Thank you for coming over, because honestly, that done it for me. Like, I was like, man, I was gone, and I never came back. I was gone, and then he kept asking. That was the worst part, right? What is it? What is it? What's a fucking cervix? And if I'm being honest with you, I didn't know what it was either, really. If you'd have told me 10 months earlier, like, the cervix has gone in my car, I'd have believed you. That's a fucking joke, you know? I'd be ringing up all the garages like, the fucking cervix has gone in that already. If you wouldn't mind fucking sorting it out. So now my wife is a bit stressed out, right? Because she's due in the hospital the next morning to be induced, right? Not what she wanted, total opposite of hypno-parenting. She was due in the hospital to be induced, and she was feeling a bit fucking pissed off. She wanted a natural birth, and of course, like, you know, my mother's like, what are bringing you in to start, your girl, and I'm like, why the fuck did you say it like that? She already feels bad enough about it, and now you're making her feel like she's a fiesta on a fucking frosty morning, like, you know. And she bringing starch to her like they're going to push her down the hill in the morning. But we're all kind of being positive. We're going to stay positive. Let's stay positive. Why don't we, Alright, I'll tell you what we do, right? We get a curry, one last try, spicy curry. My wife is drinking gallons of fucking raspberry tea, walking up and down the stairs later that evening. I swear to God, like, sitting on the couch with my mum and dad, my wife shouts out from the kitchen. Something's definitely started to happen now anyway. I was like, oh my god, here we fucking go. I ran into the kitchen. I was like, how do you know? I can feel it coming on. I ran into the kitchen with my mother, and my wife is leaning over, and she's hand on the radiator, right, talking about the heat, right? Are you having a fucking laugh, or what? Well, I thought you got into labour. My dad's in the car. My dad was in the car. He was over in the car. I had to go and get my dad, and the kid doesn't even drive. He was in the back of the car. I thought she was having a child. I know she's not having a child at all, but you're after fixing the heating anyway. Come in. Next morning, we're gone, right? Into the hospital, and it's like, it's kind of frustrating. You go up to the induction ward, there's loads and loads of people around, right? Loads of women in there. They come around, they have a chat to you, you know? They're like, alright, they examine my wife, and they says to her, right, your cervix is closed. So we'll be back to do an induction later, okay? So they come back, they did the induction, and they explained that it takes roughly 12 hours, and the 12 hours go by and nothing happened, right? Absolutely nothing happened. And they come back, and then they do another examination, and they said, your cervix is closed. It's still closed. Now we're going to do a stronger induction, take about 24 hours. That should get things going. If it doesn't work, we'll come back and we'll examine you again. So 24 hours later, the following day, they come back, nothing happened. Absolutely nothing. Starting to get a bit pissed off now. They did another examination. Said your cervix is still closed. We're going to do another induction now, and I'm like third time lucky and all this, come on. And so they do another induction, this will be back in a day now to check if it works. So they come back the following day, nothing happened. They check again, they do another examination, they said your cervix is still closed. At that point now I was kind of after giving up a bit, you know. If I'm being honest now, I thought, is it going to work? I felt like we were all standing outside a pub on Good Friday. You know, I don't think that's going to open at all. But there's someone in there, I know. That's a lock-in. So they give us a break. That's what they did. They give you a break. They didn't give me a break. I was grand. I was like, you're all right. They give you a break, right? And it is fucking hard because all the mothers that came in are gone. And even mothers that came in that day are gone. The ward is actually empty. The whole thing is empty, right? And me and Niamh were there, and next thing this couple come in, and I know you're not meant to judge people by their appearance. Sometimes you just can't help it. I said these fuckers, oh god, but they're gonna be trouble. Look at these concerts, look at those fucking holy shit, matching tracksuits, I just had a feeling about them, you know. I thought they're gonna be fucking head wreckers, So they come in and I was absolutely right. They were fucking arseholes, right? The two of them came in, they're in the bed across the way. They're bouncing up and down the birthing balls now, right? They're bouncing in up and down. They have, and this is all day, and I'm behind my curtain trying to keep my cool, right? 1:20 in the morning, and they have a television above their bed, fucking blaring. 1:20 in the morning, and my wife is trying to sleep, right? And I said, fuck. I went over to them. I said, sorry, do you mind turning the fucking telly down there? The guy jumped up off the bed. He's in the bed, He jumped up off the bed. He goes, it's not my fault, the speakers is in the back. And I said, I didn't ask you where the speakers were. I just asked you to turn on the telly. My wife was trying to get a bit of fucking rest over there. Yeah, well you got a fucking machine over there that's annoying me. I said, that's actually not my machine at all. This is a machine to monitor the heartbeat of the baby. I didn't sneak a fucking Atari in with me playing computer games from the 80s. That is a machine, right? And he's in my face, right? And then his missus is telling me to fuck off as well. And I'm like, oh, bollocks. She's like, fuck off. And I'm like, just turn the telly down. He's like, it's okay, love. I'm going to take him outside now and kick the fucking shit out of him, right? Now, in hindsight, it actually is, it's not a bad idea to fight outside a hospital. It's very sensible. When you really think about it, if anything goes wrong, they're nice and close, you know? But I thought that now's not the time. It felt a bit, like, you know, and I like to say I'm the bigger man, and I genuinely was like, fuck. I was raging. Everything was going on inside me. Like, I could feel it all tightening up. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm gonna fucking kill this man. And we were face to face, like in the fucking induction. And I was like, I took a deep breath, and I swear to God, man, fucking muscle memory. I took a deep breath, and it came up. I am. I swear to God, I couldn't fucking believe it. I am looking forward to the birth of my baby. And you can forget about the last one. And I genuinely took the breath, and I caught myself, and I said, that is fucking ridiculous. And I said, you know, I'm sorry, man, I'm very stressed out. We're in here nearly 5 days, and I'm pissed off. I said, I shook his hand, and I said, I'm sorry, and he apologised too. I was like, best of luck with everything. I'm sorry about that. I was a bit rude the way I asked you, right? Next morning, they're gone. They've gone into labour overnight. They're gone. The two of them are gone. No sign of our baby yet. No sign of our baby yet. They come around, do another examination. It's like, look, it's not going to happen today, probably. And my wife's sister came to visit. Now, I went down to meet her. She has a 6-month-old baby boy, right? I take him. She goes up to her sister. I then have a coffee with my mum and dad in the hospital. I'm walking around with them, telling them about the night before, like how fucking I nearly got into a fight and everything. And then I see the guy. I actually see the guy almost fought, and I got a pang of relief. I was like, what the fuck were you playing at, man? And he actually salutes me. And there's no animosity at all between us now. It's just amazing what that stressful situation can do to you, like, you know? He's like, oh, hey, and he starts coming over then, right? And then he said, oh, so you had him then? And he pointed at the big youth baby. Fucking 6-month-old baby, right? And I didn't want to start anything off again. I was going, oh fuck, I don't know here. But my mother was having none of it. Like, my mum was like, that child's eating a banana. Are you the fella from last night? Are you the fella from last night? And the guy was like, yeah, and he didn't try to fight my mum, thank God. My mother wouldn't have refused, I can tell you that. She'd have fucking dragged them out there. So he kind of laughed it off. He's like, oh, fucking banana. Oh. And he walked away, and I actually stood up for him. I couldn't believe I stood up for him. I said, man, that was a bit lousy. What are you doing there? I said, that man's just after having a baby. He's probably very tired. And my mother was like, exactly, Christopher. He's just after having a baby. He's just after having a baby. And in the space of 2 corridors, he asked you, did you just have that baby? Right? I don't think they should give him the baby. I go off upstairs, I tell my wife about it, she's laughing at what happened. Nothing happened, and they come around again and they said, okay, I think the best thing to do is to book in for a C-section. So we booked in for a C-section. Like, brilliant, we're having the baby tonight at 6 o'clock, class. So we're all getting ready, my wife is fasting. Later on that evening, nothing, right? Fucking C-section gets cancelled. And I was like, for fuck's sake. You're having it now the next morning, right? C-section's been moved to the next morning. Next morning, I'm like, get a tiny bit of sleep, I can't wait, we're gonna go down and have the baby. Second C-section got cancelled as well. And I was like, oh my God. And my wife was fasting, and she was just like, oh, I just want to fucking have this baby. She was freaking out, right? 2 o'clock that day, they were like, look, it's going to happen. 2 o'clock that day, it's going to happen. We will have a C-section, you'll have a baby. Walking down to the theatre with the fucking shit on and everything. And we're walking in, and they come out and they go, oh my God, we're so sorry, there's been an emergency, an ambulance has just come in. And I'm tempted to say, that's my ambulance. I was calling it just in case, you know. I'm really sorry. So later that day, I don't believe I'm in there until I'm in there. So later that night, we're actually in the theatre having a baby, right? And the best thing is, they say it'll all take 20 minutes. You'll have your baby, and I'm like, thank fucking God. And through their words, like 6:15, baby is born. Baby boy, 9 pounds 13 ounces. That's a very big fucking baby. And it all became apparent how it wasn't coming out the other way. It's beautiful. Jack, that's the only name we had for a boy. It was a beautiful moment. Me, my wife and Jack for the very first time together like that, and I'll never forget it. And I'll also never forget the midwife is over here somewhere, and she's calling us, you know. She's like, have you seen the placenta? It's the biggest one I've ever seen. Right? the biggest one she's ever seen. No, I'm there to Neve going, and the baby. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't think things could get any better. Did you hear what she said there? The biggest one she's ever seen. Well, I looked over. I was like, oh my fucking god. Don't look over there, Neve, it's a trick. Don't look over there. Jesus Christ, it's everywhere. It's all over. It's all over. Neve, look at me. Only look at me. Don't look over there. Jesus Christ almighty. It's like the thing that killed Steve Irwin. That's the only way. Oh my god, that was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I kept on fucking looking at it. I kept on, and then she asked me that I want it. She was like, do you want it? And I'm like, no, I don't. We don't have an aquarium in the little place, alright? So I'd say you might just have to hang on to it there, or just fucking throw it into the sea maybe, I don't know. I'm just delighted. I can't wait to get out of there. I can't wait to get out of there, introduce Jack to everybody, right? But it's taken a long time actually. It's taken a bit longer than I expected, because I was told 20 minutes you're in and out. This is 20 minutes after the C-section is even finished. Now I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Starting to feel a tiny bit uneasy. Then there's more and more people coming into the room. I'm like, I don't like it. They're talking to each other and I'm like, I get a bad feeling. And then I hear the anaesthetist and he asks someone, right, he goes, we need 4 units of O negative yesterday. My fucking heart dropped. I was like, oh shit. I didn't say anything. I heard it, but I didn't say anything. I was like, oh fuck. And I was in shock actually. I know I was in shock because they kept on saying, Daddy needs to leave a baby. Kept on saying that and I was just like, I'm not going fucking anywhere. My legs were glued to the ground, and then a consultant came in to me and she said, look sir, I'm very sorry, there's been a complication. I have to operate on your wife, right? My wife is fine now, but that is by far the scariest thing. And it was straight after the happiest moment as well. That's the way, that was the real fucking... The only way I could genuinely describe it, right, was it felt like I was halfway down a slide, a water slide, and someone says to me, Mayor, I don't think there's any water at the end of this slide. No matter how much you try, it's very hard to enjoy the rest of the slide. I had to put my face in their hands and I had to get out. I had to get out of the hospital. I had to leave with the baby. I called everybody. I told them what was happening. Her sister came in and helped me, and it was about 4 or 5 hours of nothing. I'm like, you know, it's okay, blah blah blah. But 4 or 5 scary hours, like, you know. And the whole time, honest to God, Jack didn't fucking blink. Didn't fucking blink. They're meant to be just staring at me the whole time, right? And they came out eventually and said, surgery was a success, we've had to give her general anaesthetic though. So she's just starting to wake up now. We're going to bring her out, and she's going to be a bit groggy, so just be aware, right? So to bring my wife out, and like I said, didn't blink. And as soon as she was within range, Jack just started roaring crying. And the midwife and the surgeon were there, and like, he knows, and he can smell her, he knows she's there, and he missed her. And she was kind of waking up, which is wires everywhere, and she's like, you know, what am I going to do? Like, he was fucking screaming his head off, like, you know. She said, oh, just lie him next to her there, put him into the crook of her arm, and they'd be fine. It was a beautiful moment. Put her into the crook of her arm, and as soon as they touched, she stopped crying. It was beautiful. Water in the pool, you know. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous, honestly God. And I was like, I was just going, fucking hell, this is, you know. And I was sat and my wife just started to wake up then. My wife just started to wake up, and the surgeon was there, her sister was there, the midwife was there. And she just started to wake up, and I'm like, oh, welcome back, Niamh, welcome back, say hello to Jack, you know. And my wife was just kind of like getting her bearings and looking around the room. And then she just looked down at the baby and she went, fucking Gypsy. Right? No context whatsoever. So the surgeon was like, has that ever happened with the anaesthetic? Has anyone ever woke up and just called someone a fucking Gypsy? Gypsy lied to us. Ladies and gentlemen, genuinely, it's been a fucking pleasure.